For a topic nobody wanted to talk about and nobody wanted me to talk about, there's certainly a lot of people talking about this topic that nobody wanted to talk about and nobody wanted me to talk about. But it seems that when our minds can't find anything else to grasp onto of any meaningfulness, we revert back to something ridiculous, which is Owlbeargate. And Owlbeargate is still a thing because Wizards of the Coast, in what I actually thought was a sort of brilliant move, now allows druids to wild shape into owlbears in the latest ON D&D Playtest. Sort of. But first, before I say anything about this or the movie or the, Sophia who's playing the tiefling druid, I would just say, you know what? Go watch her in I'm Not Okay With This on Netflix, or Uncle Frank, or even It, if you really want to see how good of an actress she is, because, she's just going to be buried in memes in the D&D movie. But yes, now, thanks to the D&D movie, our tiefling druids can wild bear shape into owlbears. Sort of. So despite not wanting to talk about this, everybody seems to be talking about this, and depending upon which review you read, druids are either now way more powerful than they should be in this playtest, or they're so nerfed Wizards of the Coast doesn't know what they're doing in this playtest. In Wizards of the Coast's defense, they're like, hey, we just put out Keys of the Golden Vault, and nobody's actually complained about that yet, right? So we're doing okay. Yes, well, I don't really know of any complaints about Keys of the Golden Vault, but I would say it telling that between the time the Keys of the Golden Vault was announced and came to market, over 100 supplements have been written for it, so much so that there's a bundle already on Humble Bumble of bundles and alternate rules for Keys to the Golden Vault, which just goes to show that they did such a horrible job with it that over 100 people thought, I need to fix this. But instead of that, we're talking about owlbears again, and whether druids can or cannot turn into owlbears. And really, the answer to that, even from day one, was who cares? Well, they can't turn into owlbears because owlbears are an abomination, and they can only turn into beasts. It's like, dude, it's the exact same stat block. Look at bear. Look at owlbear. Yeah, same. Okay, same hit points, same armor class, same movement rate, same number of attacks, the same basic thing. Owlbear is a bear wearing an owl suit. It can't fly, doesn't get any special abilities for being an owlbear. So other than looking cool, I mean, I guess, I don't know. Who cares? Who cared? I mean, many of us even jokingly went out of our way to explain how she could possibly do it, including the fact, it could have been a magic item. Could have been because she's a tiefling. It could just be because magic. And with magic, you don't have to explain jack because it's magic. But people are like, how dare you? There's even articles. How dare you, Wizards of the Coast, allow druids to turn into wild-shaped owlbears? Because it's like, and Wizards of the Coast is like, dude, no one cares. Why is this a thing? Really, of all the things you can complain about, this is what you're focusing on? But so I guess in order to pander to the movie people, sort of, Wizards of the Coast has brilliantly come up with a way to kind of let you turn into an owlbear. Sort of. And again, depending upon who you ask, this either now makes druids unbelievably broken or unbelievably nerfed. And really, at the end of the day, I think the general thing is just going to be, why? Why was this important? How about you just be, you know what? We don't care. It's your game, dude. If you want him to turn into an owlbear, fine. Stat block's the same. But that's sort of what they did. They said, you assume a form. You determine its appearance, selecting an example animal from the form's description, selecting another appropriate animal, or choosing a hybrid form that incorporates visual characteristics from two or more animals. So there we go. That's how they're doing it. Instead of you becoming a specific form, you become a stat block. At level 1, that stat block is limited to land-based shapes like bears or owls. I mean, you could turn into a bear that looks like a half owl, half bear. You would still not be able to fly. You'd still basically be a bear. You could add aquatic forms at 7th and aerial forms at 9th. Now, that never made sense to me. I mean, I can see, not wanting them to fly into really high, because once you get to flying in D&D, it kind of just makes it super broken. But I never understood why it was so hard for them to reach aquatic level. I mean, oh, geez. You can turn into a fish. That's really going to change the outcome of the combat, because now you're a fish. But yeah, so they get wild shape now at first. I assume there's a wild shape dominant subclass, just like there was before. And then, it can choose anything that is land-based. So you can't be turned into a fish. You could turn into something that looks like a bird, but you won't be able to fly, I guess, is what, aerial forms. I don't know, so at 9th level, instead of just saying you could fly. I mean, the whole big thing is now you can turn into an owlbear at 1st level, sort of, depending upon how you read this. So yeah, other than that, see, I guess they can wear metal armor now. They get some other abilities to change and bestial strikes and stuff like that. But basically, you can change the form. You can choose their form. So you can, again, as you assume a form, you determine its appearance, but you're still limited to the stat block. So I'm going to take the stat block off a bear, but I'm also going to throw in some owl parts, because coolness. Will this give me anything special? No. Will this allow me to do anything that I can't normally do as a bear? No. You're going to have the armor class, hit points, number of attacks of a 1st level 1-hit die bear. You are limited to what you can do, but if you want to look like an owl bear or a raccoon bear or a snake bear or a goldfish bear or an owl fish or a frog carrot or whatever, fine. I literally don't care what you look like. You can look like whatever you want. Doesn't give you any advantage or disadvantage, because the stat block is going to be the same no matter what form you shroom. Doesn't it give any bonuses to intimidation? No. You can try and intimidate them, but it doesn't give me any bonuses. What about bonuses to strength because I'm a bear? No. What about bonuses to speed because I'm a... No. How about... No. This is what you get. Can we stop talking about this now? Please. Dear God. Literally. The Owlbeargate is going to outlast the movie. 4 months from now, we won't be talking about the movie because it's going to tank, but we'll still be talking about Owlbeargate because we're stupid and this is important to us. And really, Sophia has better roles. This is not the role that she's going to be remembered for in a year from now. Go watch her on Uncle Frank if you want to see her potential as an actress. Not in the D&D movie. Okay. Anyways, despite my best attempts to avoid the playtest, you guys keep talking about it. So here you go. Here is what's going on with Owlbeargate. They can now shape change into an owlbear. Big deal. No one cares. There's a stat block. You get it at 1st level. Big deal. No one cares. Does it make them more powerful? Maybe. Does it make them less powerful? Maybe. Does it matter? No. Can we move on, please? I'm the OG GM. If you appreciate listening to me talk about this nonsense, let me know. If you never want to hear me talk about this ever again, that'd be great. Please stop sending me complaints about Owlbeargate. I do not care. Please like, please share, please subscribe, please support the OG GM adventures. And no, I am not going to go see the movie. I stated that in August I wasn't going to go see the movie. I was boycotting the movie long before any of you. And I'll be boycotting it long after you. I don't need to see it. I already saw the D&D movie. I saw it in the 80s. It was called Hawk the Slayer. Please support me. Like, share, subscribe. Head on over to Big Geek Emporium and check out my merch. And that's it. Moving on to the next topic. Owlbear.